What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day. And I have my friend here,
Nick Palladino. Hey guys.
You guys can feel free to follow and check out his channel with the first link in the description. So a lot of you guys have been kind of like asking me what I've been doing today. I'm doing like the 5,000 calorie challenge. Caleb's doing the 10,000 calorie challenge, and we were inspired by Nick's channel. He did 10,000 calories 4 years in a row. So that's kind of what we're up to today. But in none of that kind of like shenanigans, we wanted to talk about 3 stocks that are extremely overbought, and then we just want to give you reasons on why we see this to be like not a good buy anymore. And I think this is going to be very useful for any time that you're trying to perform a technical analysis and you're trying to identify, is this something that you want to continue to hold? Is this something that you want to buy, or is this something that you want to, sell and get rid of? Nick is going to have an amazing example for you, as one of these stocks are actually one that he bought 1 or 2 days ago.
Bank of America, I think, was Wednesday or Thursday of last week. So yeah, it was very quick. So
and what happened today?
Earnings report.
And then how much did it go up?
I think it's like over 7% right now.
And then we're going to give them 3 reasons, 3 indicators why, like use 3 indicators on why it like you want to lock in profits, almost pretty much like when the market opens, right? And then on top of that, just talk about the indicators very quickly. So I'm going to start sharing my screen if you want to like fit in the frame.
Oh, yeah. Now I see what's going
on. But yeah, for those that are not familiar with who it is that I am, my name is Ricky. I run the largest YouTube channel for those who invest in the stock market, and also run the largest private Facebook group for those who invest in the stock market called TechBot Solutions. We have a little bit over 184,000 members. It's 100% for free, and it's the, I think, second link in the description right under Nick's channel link, right? So let me go ahead and I'm going to start sharing my screen. We're using the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform. We have the 3 stocks. If you guys don't want to watch this entire video, I 100% understand. Hope that you guys can still drop a thumbs up and do your own analysis. But this is on the 180-day 4-hour analysis. The stocks that we're going to be talking about today are BAC, CMG, and NFLX. And I'll go ahead and let you break down this one real quick. So when looking at Bank of America, again, looking a little bit closer today, had a 7% day, meaning that it pushed up 7%. Do you know why, right? Why?
It was the earnings report. We looked that up.
Yep.
Yeah, in the morning I woke up and I was like, holy, that's
right.
Like huge.
So huge day, pushes up exponentially. Look at the RSI indicator, look at the MACD indicator, look at previous patterns on when it begins to sell off, and just ask yourself. One of the things that we talked about is even going beyond that, looking at the recent direction that BAC had to offer. BAC was extremely overbought, right? So it was above the SMA line with a descending pattern. The SMA line, based off of previous patterns, has been acting as a resistance. So because of that, not only is this kind of like a downward pattern, but yes, it went through this like positive news of its earnings, and it drove the price up due to probably like just its report, and that's great. But if you have experience when it comes down to trading earnings report, usually that news of whatever the earnings report is doesn't actually last for a very long period of time. And what I mean by that is the prices can be driven up or they can be driven down, but that catalyst does not last forever. So we want to make sure that we're quick to kind of like respond, and to make sure that we understand that not only was it based off recent patterns a descending pattern, but it went through some form of catalyst that isn't going to last for a very long period of time. And then looking at the simple indicators of like, the RSI and the MACD, that that this is an area where you would feel comfortable to be like, okay, I bought in for a good price and I'm able to sell at a price that even if it continues to go up, there's a reason for what it is that you are doing. And I think that's what's most important. We could also talk about like the previous resistance that it offered right around the $29 price point. I know that's something.
What caught my eye the most is those 3 resistance. Yeah, right
exactly.
There.
So the $29 resistance that you guys could see right here, and right here. Again, and one of the things that I really like to focus on is like, it's good to identify ideal price points. But one thing that I have found to be a little bit more effective is that Bank of America doesn't necessarily have to hit $29. It can get rejected at where it's at right now. So I would much rather focus on selling at ranges of like, okay, well, I understand that it hit highs of like 29, let's say 20, but even to lows of like 28, 34. Yep. You said you followed with a stop loss, right?
Yeah, I followed closely, exactly, just because it's so close to that resistance right there that I'm being very careful. I'm going to wake up tomorrow, keep an eye on it. But yeah, I do have a stop set on
Just
it.
in case if it begins to pull back, it will automatically sell his position and he can lock in the profits that he bought on Thursday. And I think that's something that's very effective, right? So we talked about the reason again. Forget about Bank of America. The stock itself is irrelevant. We're talking about patterns and reasons why he feels now comfortable locking in profits, and it makes sense on why this thing can continue then to pull back and sell off. The one that I want to follow up with is one that you pointed out, is Chipotle, CMG. I go there, almost every single day. Not today, because this is one thing that I figured out. So, Nick is like a fitness personal trainer, and yesterday we went to Chipotle, and I was just like Chipotle is like really filling. This must be a bunch of calories. Again, I know nothing about like calories. And he was like, no, it's like 600 to 800 calories because of the bowl that I got.
The bowl that you specifically got.
Yeah, and I was just like, what the heck? But then he was like, yeah, just eat 2 McGriddles and you'll be at 1,100 calories. But it's more of quality calories that I was consuming with.
Yeah, you had more volume of food, so it filled you up quicker.
Yeah, so I didn't eat Chipotle today because all I wanted to consume were calories. I'm at 4,600 calories on the day. I have 400 calories to go, and it's only 8 p.m. That's like a Pop-Tart. Yeah, we got it. So one of the things that I want to focus on with Chipotle CMG, right, is that this price range of where it's at right now, based off previous patterns, that's all I could really trade off of, right, is that it's approaching this like previous resistance and it's overbought. And look at the MACD. It's like it makes sense on why it can begin to sell off. I already set my indicator for the break below 500 and the break above, just in case it continues to uptrend. I'm going to set one at the break above 520. A question that you want to ask yourself, and I know that this is going in your mind, if you're someone that's still actively trading CMG, is that it's reacting really well to the EMA line, right? So it continues to push up and bounce off the EMA line. That's great, and 100% I understand that. All I continue to ask you is to, if you see potential and a margin of profit within the day as a day trade to be worth it, then great. You can manage your risk along the way, and if it breaks below the EMA line, then to cut losses or to lock in profits. But if you're planning on swing trading something, and again, this is what kind of like this video is wrapped all around, is it's so overbought that the question that I would ask myself is, does the margin of profit outweigh the margin of loss? And in my opinion, due to previous patterns, right over here, it does not. The margin of profit based off previous patterns and the price point that it's at right now, the margin of profit based off its previous highs, because that's all I could really go off of, is around 3.19%. That's great, but again, what's the margin of loss? Much greater, right? It's 18%. So again, and you'll experience this, so I'm saying this and it will make sense to some of you, and some of you guys will learn from it, but some of you will it'll just go right over your head. And you will reframe or revert back to this video eventually and be like, wow, now I actually understand what Ricky was saying. Again, the whole purpose of trading and investing is to make sure that it's worth your time and your money. To not overtrade and just take on any investment that anyone throws at you. And that's the whole point of being a quality investor. If you think like you can go up to Warren Buffett and be like, hey, invest in my company, he's gonna ask you, well, what criteria and what qualifications do you have for me to invest my hard-earned money and my overall reputation? I think that's the approach and the type of like credibility that you kind of like engage yourself when it comes down to choosing to trade something. To be someone that like pretends to be like in a corner office where people are throwing like a bunch of different investment opportunities at you, as in like these different stocks and ETFs, and you decide and you're extremely selective with what you choose to invest in. Focus on those quality trades, make sure that the margin of profit outweighs the margin of loss, and just understand what it is that you're doing. We talked about the RSI, we talked about the MACD, we talked about one good incentive as of right now, that it is reacting really nicely to the EMA line. So other than a news report or something being thrown about Chipotle, which will drive the price up, I don't see any other reason based off previous patterns on why this thing would continue to hold. I would say that it's only a matter of time for this thing to begin to sell off, and then we can revert back to when it's sub 420, and then possibly if it begins to show signs of an uptrend, to decide to maybe to take part of this really nice ride up. And we could see that when it broke above 420. I know a lot of people within Learn, Plan, Profit and Technical Solutions were calling it out. This is a 20% margin.
That's insane.
That's huge.
For a month straight, it was basically green.
1 month. And if you think that's crazy, we talked about already Bank of America and the huge push, right? Because you've been watching this one for a while, and this one went up, about 20%.
Yeah.
Now it's Netflix. Now look at Netflix and where it's at. Again, based off previous resistance, and these are overall previous highs, I would say anywhere around 360 to 380 is kind of like based off previous patterns, like where it would make sense on where it can peak out at. Now, a question that you might want to ask yourself is like, it's reacting really nicely to this EMA line, but look how overbought it is. Look at the RSI indicator and look at this up and coming earnings report. Again, this is up to you. I don't know if you guys stay up to date with the Netflix news. And again, even just like reading small little things about companies that you're like looking into. I think that they raised for US members or subscription members, they raise the price. So again, that might not have an effect on its earnings reports, and they usually tend to do pretty good. So its last earnings report performed very well, but look at the previous one before that, right? And this is when it was overbought and it had a huge sell-off. So all I ask you is, again, especially as we're getting so close to its earnings report, this is actually tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So maybe some of you guys are holding this, maybe some of you guys are not. Now you're aware that an earnings report is tomorrow. Now you're aware that Netflix is extremely overbought. Now you know with the RSI indicator and based off previous patterns, asking yourself the question, does the margin of profit outweigh the margin of loss? A very simple question you could ask yourself. Look at previous patterns in its direction. Yes, it did cover a huge margin of profit, and yes, like that was very attractive and people made a ton of money. But then ask yourself, what position and what situation are you in right now, and is it something that is worthwhile? Because those that took advantage of this when it broke above the SMA line, again, they were quick to react and they took advantage of it. Now it's not so much of a good deal. And I think that's very easy to say. Yes, it can continue to uptrend, but does it outweigh the potential for loss? That's a decision that you have to make. And if you don't feel like you understand the stock enough, then guess what? Maybe you just need to practice just a little bit more to be able to then make that decision. Again, if you have a reason behind everything that you do, then great. If you don't, then maybe you just have to dedicate a little bit more time to, understand that. And it's as simple as that. So that is really just it. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys were going to bring that one up. So one more time is asking about PG&E. I don't know about if you heard about that, but they filed it's the world, I don't know if it's the world's or United States largest like energy. I don't know exactly what it is that they are. But they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Yeah, I read about it, I think 3 or 4 days ago.
Okay, I see the comment now.
Yeah.
PG.
Wow. And I've like they're filing for bankruptcy, right? So obviously that's just not something that I want to take part of. My overall experience with that is just they usually continue to sell off, and some news reports will come out that will try to alleviate the just bleeding when it comes down to like how fast that stock price is falling. But as of right now, again, I'm not a short seller, but if I were, then I would probably look at that one. But altogether, it's just not something that I would want to be a part of. So they are gas and electric. Okay, super happy to hear that. So Ismail is saying, click the first link for Nick's YouTube channel. Yeah, if you guys want to get a little bit more into fitness and kickstart 2019 strong, Nick's your guy. I actually took part of his personal training. You have Nick Palladino's
online
fitness, the online personal training, sets up meal plans, like ab routines. So some of you guys were asking what it was that I was doing. Again, I'm pretty thin and stuff like that, but he helps people from custom meal plans for
fully custom
for all different,
pretty much all different body types, all different activities levels, fitness levels, all that kind of stuff. He's shredded though. He works out hard.
So even so if you guys have a girlfriend, don't let them click on his YouTube channel. So he's also a model for Guess. So if you guys ever walk into Guess, if you're within the United States, you'll see him and his girlfriend there.
Yep.
It's a little upsetting. You never see my face anywhere other than searching up stocks. But it's all about having fun and enjoying what it is that you do. He's super passionate about fitness. And if you even just want to check out and ask him questions, I'm sure that you guys can hit him up on Instagram. Don't be intimidated by how many followers he has. He has over 600,000 followers on Instagram. But don't be intimidated. Feel free to message him. And then if you have any questions about his thing, I'm sure that he'd be more than happy to engage with you guys.
Yeah, DM me. Feel free. I'll respond to all you guys. So
sweet. Super happy to hear that. Again, guys, what's most important is that there's a reason behind whatever it is that you guys do, and to make sure that you have the confidence and understanding to take advantage of those opportunities. I talked about top 3 stocks that I think that are extremely overbought, and the whole premise of this is the 3 stocks that we talked about are irrelevant, are going to be irrelevant 3 or 4 months down the road. But what's not irrelevant is the reasoning behind of what indicators and what patterns we saw that led to us to make that assumption that they are overbought. And that's what I wanted to share for you guys to understand what's not attractive about these 3 stocks, so you guys can take those best practices, and when you're doing your technical analysis, that you can avoid investing your hard-earned money in something that's possibly not the best deal. So I hope that's something that you guys see value in. I hope that you guys liked this video. If you guys did, we'd really appreciate it. If not, I totally understand. But I do want to remind you guys again, if you guys want to join our free Facebook group, it is the second link in the description. And if you want the ability to watch me trade live every single day, we have a very exciting day tomorrow. It's the natural gas report. Nick might be joining us, right?
Before I leave.
Yeah, so the natural gas report is, you guys know that I trade a lot of like UGAS and DGAS, and it's been pretty crazy lately. Again, we're going to be going live at market open. The natural gas report is at 1 hour after the market opens, wherever it is that you guys are. So I know you guys are going to want to stay tuned to that, and we're going to have a lot of fun. If you guys want to be able to watch me trade live, I think that's the third link in the description. It's our Learn Plan Profit group. It says watch me trade live every day, and Nick's actually part of it, right? Yep, I like it. So thank you guys again so much for your time. Continue to kill it. Hope you guys have an amazing 2019. Do you want to say anything?
No, yeah. Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it. It's been a fun 2 days here.
Yeah, he's stayed here for 2 days, and we're doing this like 5,000, 10,000 calorie challenge.
You guys got to watch that video. It's going to be a good one.
Oh, yeah. I really don't feel good. So a lot of you guys were asking like what I was up to. Laying on my couch. Literally, I took a nap today also. I feel like, I kind of look bigger, don't I?
Yeah, all that the food
industry the McDonald's. I literally have McDonald's, Taco Bell, and
4 cheesecakes.
2 cheesecakes and Raising Cane's. And then I have one last meal at Topgolf. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. Thank you guys again for your time. Continue working hard. Continue following your dreams. Let your passion be what drives your success. I just posted a new picture on Instagram. Go like that thing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.